Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars movies, their new Star Wars TV shows, be it live action or animated material, that's coming our way in the next couple of years by George, John, and Dave Filoni. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you also very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, we're now in a very interesting phase of the Star Wars universe, given that currently Disney is trying to expand that bridge that takes place in between Episode 3 and Episode 4. Starting off with the Kenobi TV series, we already know that Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen have already signed a multi-show contract for the new Star Wars universe that's going to allow them to reappear in multiple Star Wars TV shows, so that's a great thing to be excited about. But there's another thing about all of this that a lot of fans have been very much looking forward to, and that has a lot to do with what's going on with the Mandoverse, or otherwise known as the post-Episode 6 timeline. Everything that takes place in between Episode 6 and The Force Awakens is going to be pretty much the main focus of the new Star Wars universe at hand. Now, when you look at everything between George, John, and Dave, their big plan is to really find a way to create a balance between using both Star Wars Legends and the existing Disney Star Wars canon material, and exactly how they're going to be able to cater to all fans. You know, whether you're a hardcore fan, a new fan, or a casual one at that, Disney wants to make sure that they're going to make everybody happy at the same exact time. And whether or not that's going to make things a little difficult or not for them is a big question open on the table right now. So, moving on forward, when we focus on creators like George Lucas, alright, this is where things begin to pick up quite a bit, is that, well, with Lucasfilm and Disney now working on numerous Star Wars projects, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are also heavily involved with the new Star Wars TV shows that will be announced at this year's Celebration event. Now, further, it's noted that currently George Lucas is making some major changes to the Star Wars universe behind the scenes that have been given the okay by Disney CEO Bob Chapek in order to reshape the Star Wars universe properly for the fans and to keep things as accurate as possible to Star Wars Legends. Now, keep in mind that Legends is going to be the main focus for the fandom. It's described that recently George Lucas was able to get Bob Chapek to greenlight the addition of Luke Skywalker's son to become a part of the new Star Wars universe and a part of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy in the new canon material for both, of course, a part of Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy in the Star Wars TV shows, and new books and comics as well that will start in 2023. Now, Lucas is described to have recently convinced Disney to finally add in Luke's son to appear in two big Star Wars projects that are currently in the early development phase. This both includes Star Wars Jedi Knight and a new spin-off series of The Mandalorian that will involve Luke Skywalker once again, that takes place some years after the events of the Ahsoka Tano TV series. The addition of Luke's son is said to involve him getting a different name than how it was Ben Skywalker in Star Wars Legends. This way, Lucasfilm can prevent any kind of confusion between both Ben Solo and Ben Skywalker. Now, let me just stop right here for 1 second. Now, we touched on this lightly a couple of months ago of how Disney has a lot of extensive plans to expand the Skywalker bloodline, to expand the Skywalker family, and that's exactly what they are going to be doing now in the Mandoverse. So the Mandoverse is going to be a big deal for a number of different reasons. Number one is that it's going to take a lot of highlights from Legends. We're talking about the Thrawn trilogy, we're talking about the New Jedi Order books, Dark Empire, and more. That's really going to be implemented into the new universe. So looking forward to that as well. Number two is that they are going to be keeping the characters as accurate as possible from Legends and how they interact with some of the new characters. So that is the only tricky thing that Disney has to sort out, and so far they've been doing pretty good. You know, with, of course, Luke communicating with Ahsoka, it felt very natural, it felt very much right, as if it's meant to happen, it just felt correct. And so far, they're off to a very good start with what they did in the Book of Boba Fett appearances of Din Djarin, Ahsoka, Luke, Grogu, and more. And I think that when you look at everything in the past of how Legends went down. That's exactly what they're trying to do now. So moving past all of this, now currently, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are said to also have tons of creative involvement in the Jedi Knight series that will take place around 6 years after the events of the Ahsoka Tano series, which will give fans the evolution of Luke Skywalker as a Jedi Master, father, and even an adventurer across the entire galaxy, finding and hiding Jedi lore from the remnants of the Empire. Now, Lucas is described to also be making some big adjustments to the Mara Jade character in live-action form, in order to make the character all the more interesting to fans in live-action form as well. This time around, Mara Jade is planned to become Thrawn's hand instead of Palpatine's hand in the Mandoverse at large. So in case you guys did not know this, alright, this is a big thing that I think a lot of fans need to know, is that Mara Jade, aka Luke Skywalker's wife in Legends, was actually a personal assassin that was hired by Palpatine in the Legends books. So now what they're doing is that they're doing that in a different sense, where Thrawn is going to hire Mara Jade to go ahead and find Luke Skywalker, and all of this eventually turns into a romance, turns into them getting married and having a son, and that's exactly what George Lucas is trying to do in a different light, you know, pretty much on his own terms, and how they can kind of differ it a little bit from how it was done in Star Wars Legends to fit this new universe, right? So there's that. The other thing is that they also want to focus on new secrets about Palpatine and more. And that leads us to what George is doing with one of the surprise characters. Now, it's also described that Lucas recently did something substantial with the character Ezra Bridger with creator Dave Filoni. Now, Ezra is said to get a big revelation in the Ahsoka series that will change how fans view the character in the long term. This revelation for Ezra Bridger is described to reveal new secrets about the unknown regions and even the world between worlds, and how it will deeply impact characters like Luke Skywalker and others across the entire galaxy. Now, Lucas wants to make sure that many of the upcoming shows are very driven by aspects of the Force, the Jedi, and the cosmic force that holds the entire mythology. So overall, I think that what they're ultimately trying to achieve here is that by bringing in a lot of Legends characters and mixing them together with the new and some of the animated characters coming into live-action form for the very first time, you could see what they're really trying to achieve here. They're really trying to create a balance between Legends characters, characters that are already associated with the Star Wars universe as well in canon material, as well as the addition of making animated characters into live-action form. Again, we have characters like Sabine, Wren, and Ezra Bridger, as well as Thrawn coming our way in the Ahsoka Tano series, just for starters. That's just for starters of animated characters coming to life for the very first time. And I think that what they're really trying to do also is that they really are trying to impress the fans and get the fans that walked away from the franchise to get them back in action into the Star Wars universe. And it all begins with the Kenobi TV series. This is really their wild card. They gotta make sure that the Kenobi series impresses the masses, and that show is basically a make or break situation for the Star Wars universe without a doubt. You know, they have to get this right. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.